And we're back. Playing first? Yeah, sure. It's a keep. I mean, it's mostly a keep because Worm Harvest. But being able to absorb B into an island into Thirst for Knowledge is pretty important for this hand, I would say. Where are our Dakmor salvages? That's what I want to know. Yeah, this game goes very differently if I don't Ravenscry for each of the branches, if I instead just send an Isman that turn. I say very differently. I say differently. Yeah, I do say differently. That's what I say. Basic land cycle. Go grab an island. Sure. Ooh. Yeah, please. Like, I think Meloku next turn seems pretty good, and we can save Worm Harvest for cleanup duty. Fetch us plains and a swamp. Plains onto the battlefield. Swamp into our hand. Best to keep your domain up. And turn. This is nice, all basics. I prefer all basics to the ugly vivid lands that confuse me when I try and tap them. See what I mean? Yeah. I'll probably discard you. Yeah, the deck functions, I won't say at its best, but it functions really well off just 5 lands. Like, there's a variety of removal spells he might have from Meloku here, but if he doesn't have them, then Meloku is going to be pretty good. And if he does have them, well, then I've got a Mossdog. Torrent of Stone is the main one I'm thinking of. But you could equally have Path to Exile. Bound in Silence doesn't really do it. Ooh. So now the question is to what extent to go all in on Meloku. I think the answer is to really no extent at all. So I'm going to fly in for 2, make a Mossdog, play a Vivid Land? No. Yeah. Sure. I've got Meloku, I can return lands as much as and whenever I need to. Actually, instead of Mossdog, I might just Thirst here. Because that dumps 2 lands into my graveyard. Where Mossdog has to die to dump any lands into my graveyard. And that's why I return a land, Thirst, discard 2, probably comes into play tap lands, and then Worm Harvest for 2. Yeah. That sounds like a much better plan for my next couple of turns. He might have Cloud Go here, which would be annoying. But Meloku makes chump blockers for that, at least. So that's useful. 3/3 flyer, sure. Helps. Doesn't really help against the army of unstoppable worms, which you might not realise is my main strategy at this point. Return the land you tapped, might as well. Make an illusion. And Thirst for Knowledge. Discard. What do I want to discard here? Swamp, Vivid Grove? Certainly 2 lands. And I don't know that I want to discard Darkmoor Salvage just yet. So Swamp, Vivid Grove it is. And then spend my entire turn Worm Harvesting and so on for every turn for the rest of the game. I mean, I've got a lot of cards in hand, which is a shame. But I've also got a lot of worms in play. Given time. Which is less of a shame. Yeah, no attacks. So next turn I Worm Harvest for 3 worms. Ugh, Worm Harvest is so slow. And then if things start going seriously wrong, I've got Horobi's Whisper. And Siphon Life for the race, you know. Next time if I draw a land, I can Baloth, which is useful. I am blocking. There's a million tricks that kill Meloku here, and Meloku is quite helpful. He doesn't have any of them though, and just passes the turn. Interesting. Do I want to play a land here? Yeah, I think suspending Dirkwood Battles is worth it. I mean, I'm making worms on every turn for the rest of the game anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me. Suspend Battles, and do I attack with everyone? Yeah, like I don't really know of any. I don't think there's any flash creatures in the whole format. I'm going to go out on a limb and say there are no flash creatures in the whole format at all, ever. They don't exist. They're all lies. Ah, that's a spell. It doesn't count. It's a spell. So he gets to eat a worm token, which is annoying, but fine. Worm tokens are I don't want to say worthless, but it's not the individual worm tokens that matter. It's the collective, as is the case with most Golgari cards. So just load more worm tokens. So this is why you need a dredge thing. Like, I wish I'd got the Moss Dog to dredge a couple of times before I did all this, because, like, 3 worm tokens into 4 worm tokens into 5 worm tokens is so much worse than 6 worm tokens into 9 worm tokens into 20 worm tokens. To make up a load of numbers on the spot. Jump blocking here. Almost certainly. I see no reason to take excess damage. If this is a race, and if it's a race he wants, it's a race he'll get. And it's also a race he'll lose, interestingly. Because worm tokens. If you want a reason for why he'll lose the race. Oh, tree folk tokens. Interesting. This is not a problem I've ever encountered before. I don't know who wins. Forgot I had that guy coming, but even so. Also, I milled 2 lands. Now I probably win. So I'm going to start by Ravens climbing him. Because his instinct will be to discard reach the branches, and he might follow that instinct. He did. Maybe he has a second. Maybe he has other things to be doing. Better things. Or worse things, depending on your view of the words better and worse in this situation. Attack with all the worm tokens, attack with Meloku, attack with my Malokite. It's annoying I've only got the 1 Malokite, I could spend my time making more of them. He has 2 Reach of the Branches? And Forests get them both back? His deck is sweet. Is it possible I don't win this race? I don't know, I make a lot of worm tokens this turn. Milling 2 lands there was good for me. So he makes another tree folk next turn. We'll see how he attacks. Right, worm tokens. I pay 2 green. I have enough worm tokens to block and kill a Treefolk Shaman in exchange for just 2 of them. Whether or not that's worth it, I don't know. I mean, once a Treefolk Shaman's tapped, then it's, not blocking that particular turn. And I can Horobi's Whisper before blockers next turn, making 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage, which is enough to kill him. But then Siphon Life also helps create enough damage to kill him. Yes, he's holding all his Treefolks back, whilst just getting in there with the Scourge Manta. Which has dealt a significant amount of damage to me. No denying it. Does he have a forest to bring back his Reach the Branches? He does not. Does he have anything? Don't know. Oh well. Let's dredge ourselves a Dakmor Salvage. And another land. Fantastic. Let's get out there, everyone. If he goes to 2 or less life, then we can just Siphon Life him to death. And otherwise, we'll just make another Malokite, possibly a jump blocking Malokite. And this is so annoying. And I would like you to attack. And I would like you to attack.